My mill put her foot down, and it's amazing. I've just spent 3 days watching, dumbstruck, as all of the men in my in-laws' house do the cleaning, cooking, and holiday decorating alongside the women. Without complaint. And with equal vigor. I even watched my Phil choose a couple of recipes to make, which included doing the grocery shopping. And, not once, did he ask my mill, where is a measuring cup? How do I use an oven? What does dicing mean? Or anything else along those lines. This is a traditional Hispanic family, keep in mind. For 12 years I've seen my MIL have to carry the mental load and do all the preparation and plead with the boys to participate. And they dick around and whine and then do the bare minimum. One time I woke up in the middle of the night and she was washing all the holiday dishes at 3 a.m., grumbling to herself. I knew something was different when we arrived and there wasn't this giant, ornate, Instagram-worthy Christmas tree, and when I asked, my mill just snorted and said, "There is no tree this year." She retired this past fall. Whereupon she planned and did all the work for her own retirement party. So I'm not sure what the hell happened between then and now, but I am here for it. Popcorn. Edit. My husband somehow managed to escape the misogyny in our relationship. So he's always been a super solid partner with me, but it drove me insane when we'd come to his family's home and he wouldn't lift a finger. This time he, his brothers, dad, and uncles are all sharing the load. Update. Okay, so I just got to one of the aunts' houses for Christmas dinner. Phil's sister. The same thing is happening. What the hell is going on in this family? I'm getting to the bottom of this. Update. Mystery solved. And holy shit. Mill and aunts were so pissed about the retirement party that they brought the men folk all together under the guise of a family dinner. There was no food waiting for the men. There were no drinks. Nada. Women informed the men they'd had enough and were collectively retiring from doing everything for the holidays. Men called their bluff. There was no Thanksgiving. Men got their act together for Christmas, mostly. Hence no Xmas tree and very sparse decorations. It worked. It actually worked. But it took 5 women all resolutely informing their husbands and sons that they were on strike. The power of La Chancla. He left and I barely noticed. It's been 3 days since he blocked me on everything. He ignored my text regarding our daughter. I had to ask his dad to get in touch to ask him if he was going to stay in our child's life. All I know is he will contact you. I would say it feels like I do everything. He would always reply, actually you only do about 60%. 3 days and the disruption to my life has been minuscule. I've continued to do everything. All the cooking, the cleaning, the childcare. The only extra work I have is the weekly shop alone, and remembering to take the rubbish out on bin day. If anything, my life is easier. I don't have to clean up after him. I don't have to wash his clothes, or take him a coffee in bed and make sure he wakes up to spend an hour a day with our kid before he went to work. I really expected to notice his absence more. Financially, I might struggle a bit. Not much, but I'll have to be more frugal. The happiness I've gained from him leaving far outweighs any struggle. Actually, you only do more than half. Good riddance to this guy. All good things to you in 2024. What finally gave you the ick about a partner? I'll start. I have a very jealous boyfriend who is very accusatory with me when I'm as loyal as they come. He is also super broke, but I was blindly in love and helped him out with anything and everything. Today as we were having dinner at a fancy restaurant, he accused me of flirting with the waiter simply because I was being nice and saying please and thank you. I watched him gobble up the expensive food that I was paying for while he told me how I shouldn't be too nice to waiters and how it's disrespectful to him, and that scene right there finally gave me the ick. It was almost like a switch was flipped. Before that I couldn't even imagine not being with this man. I even called him my soulmate. Now I realize that I was blinded by my love for him. Going to break up with him. I did 90% of the cooking and cleaning in my house. One day this prick had the audacity to claim he did more, because the 10% that he did do was at a higher standard than what I did. If I forgot to put even a single knife in the dishwasher, it's like I did nothing. Ick. He started shouting at someone he was discussing Star Wars with, then stomped out of the restaurant without me. I chased him down so I wouldn't be stranded. Once we got in the car, he started driving recklessly while asking me to tell him that he was in the right getting angry over Star Wars. And people say women are too emotional to be president. Good for you. Once I got groped on the metro and the first thing that came out of my then partner's mouth was what I was wearing. In a relationship that felt pretty one-sided, Side note. We both earn a decent amount and didn't live together. Essentially my entire life revolved around this person and making him happy. I cooked, cleaned, we didn't even live together, bought him gifts on a weekly, monthly basis, cheap and expensive, paid for most dates and activities, would give him money for his own personal bills, sex on request, lots of physical affection and made constant romantic gestures, did almost all the mental and emotional labor in the relationship. I asked him if he could do more in the relationship in terms of acts of service or small inexpensive gifts. The examples I gave him were make me a coffee occasionally, buy me my favorite chocolate bar at the grocery store or flowers every couple of months. He responded that he couldn't do that following reasons. He didn't want to do nice things for me on a regular basis because they wouldn't feel as special to me if I received them constantly. So he wanted to do those things rarely so I'd be extra grateful when he did. He didn't want to do those things because I would feel entitled to them and eventually start making unreasonable and lavish requests. So he wanted to manage my expectations now. He didn't understand why he had to do something to make me happy when I wouldn't do the thing that would make him happy. What was that thing that would make him happy? Agree to do all housework, cooking and childcare in addition to paying 50% of the bills once we got married. He already does romantic things for me consistently. The one and only example he could provide was picking me up and dropping me off when I went to visit him. Instant ick and loss of attraction. It was like a switch went off in my brain. The only one-sided relationship I will ever tolerate is the one I have with my cat.